There is a huge fracture on the Democrat progressive left right now that anybody who has even this much intellectual honesty in them can tell. It's fracturing, it's growing even more by the day, and probably come November we could very well see a complete implosion and destruction of a political party, something you only, like the Bull Moose Party or the Whigs, a complete implosion and end of a political party. Here is a video I want to show you. Two videos. I'm going to show you just a clip of them. If you guys, I'm just going to let them speak for themselves. Right now, what's going on between Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden is causing such a wedge, and both of them are wrong. Both are wrong for how they're behaving right now. And President Trump is taking full advantage of this. Check this out. I'll let this, a couple minutes from this one and then a couple minutes from the second, and I think you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. These two analyses, the reason I want to show you, these two analyses are spot on. Check this out.
Perhaps this could be one of the strangest bets ever placed by a politician, or perhaps the smartest move ever performed by a politician. Donald Trump trying to court Bernie Sanders voters for 2020. I find this story remarkable and hilarious because you've got Joe Biden barely trying to get the vote of the Bernie Sanders supporters, the Democratic establishment basically wagging their fingers in the face of these Bernie people, insulting them and telling them no way, and Donald Trump actually trying to coax votes from Sanders populists while telling the left it's okay to hate Biden. You know, a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters are probably going to vote for Trump for one reason. I'm not saying all, most, or even a lot. No, I am saying a lot, right? But I'm not trying to make it seem like there's going to be millions of them. It could be a couple hundred, could be a few thousand. They're going to vote for Trump because they want to watch the world burn. And they think Donald Trump is the chaos candidate. The same thing happened in 2016. You're then going to find a group of Sanders supporters who agree with Trump being anti-establishment. Not so much about watching the world burn, but to try and knock down the DNC so that maybe they get a chance next time. Then you'll find some people who actually agree with his policies on trade and say, well, Bernie was preferred, but they'll take what they can get. Joe Biden's not the right answer. He's an international, trade guy. He's the Obama administration. Well, Donald Trump has found an opportunity in the Bernie Sanders left who are angry and dejected. And while people on Twitter smear and berate the Bernie supporters, I will tell you this. You will not, many people may be surprised to see, but I doubt. It's not surprising to me. You will see Trump supporters fanning over Bernie supporters saying, what can we do to convince you? Meanwhile, the Democrats are saying, you better vote for Joe or else you're irresponsible and F you. You're voting for Trump, you bigot. Calling them all the worst names in the book. Donald Trump supporters are going to put on their MAGA caps, grab a beer and say, hey, buddy, we may disagree, but I got a beer for you. Let's talk about it. Because the Trump supporters are smart enough to know that diplomacy will get them more votes. For some reason, the Biden people, I guess it's the TDS, right? The Trump derangement syndrome. Their emotions are running so hot they've lost their mind, so all they can do is screech. It's going to cost you. Your 2020, man. The Examiner reports, even as the Democrats seek to unite behind former Vice President Joe Biden, the Trump campaign is going to work targeting Bernie Sanders' populist supporters while discouraging progressives out of the GOP's reach from voting for the presumptive Democratic nominee. There is a significant percentage of Sanders supporters, about 20%, who back him not for his policies, but for his anti-establishment and anti-status quo persona, said Republican pollster Frank Luntz. That's the Trump target in 2020. To win them, Trump and his supporters are emphasizing points of agreement on issues like trade, while portraying Biden as a Washington insider who cheated Sanders out of the nomination, just like Hillary Clinton 4 years ago. Quote, President Trump is still disrupting Washington, D.C., while Biden represents the old, tired way and continuing to coddle the communist regime in China, said Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale in a statement after Sanders suspended his campaign. Democrat elites shoved Bernie Sanders to the side for a second time, leaving many of his supporters looking for a new home. And I will tell you what, the audio was released. Donald Trump was scared of Bernie Sanders. He said it, his words. He's the one person he really didn't want to go up against. Bernie Sanders talked big on trade, just like Trump did, and Trump knew that overlap would be bad for him. So you know what? When Trump says they sideline the guy, I think Trump is being honest. Not that it's a manipulation to try and win over Bernie supporters. I mean, it is a little bit, for sure. It'd be stupid not to assume that. But I think Trump's legitimately saying, hey, man, look, We agree on this issue. They don't. They're nuts. All right? They're the ones who tried booting you out. They do the same thing to me.
Did you hear that right there? That's a very, very good point. One thing not many people realize, especially the Bernie supporters, is that the Bernie supporters and the Trump supporters have a huge overlap, and that is anti-establishment, anti-career politicians who are corrupt, and America First policies. Maybe the Bernie supporters don't like to call it America First, but it's trade deals that put our country and our country's workers first, rather than diversity first, or that nation has been marginalized for generations by colonizers. None of that nonsense. America and its workers first. Okay, so you check that out. Now, here is the second video I want to show you. This one's much better in my opinion. I love Jimmy Dore. Trump tells the truth about Bernie dropping out that Democrats won't. Check this out.
Do you know Bernie is he's not going to campaign, but he's going to still let people vote for him going forward. Now, just so you know, and again, I don't think I'm going to yell today, and I don't want to make anybody who is a Bernie Sanders fan feel bad today. That's not the intention of this show. But again, the intention of this show is always to tell you exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and what other people won't tell you. Right? And so I'm going to still do that today. So I'm going to tell you why this stuff happened and what the ramifications are and what other people won't tell you. Okay? So just to start us off, here is what Donald Trump tweeted out, and he said, Bernie Sanders is out. Thank you to Elizabeth Warren. If not for her, Bernie would have won almost every state on Super Tuesday. This ended just like the Democrats and the DNC wanted, same as the crooked Hillary fiasco. The Bernie people should come to the Republican Party. Trade. It's just amazing when a guy like Donald Trump can tell you a truth that MSNBC, CNN, nor the Bernie campaign or the Democratic Party will tell you.
Not even the Bernie campaign will tell you.
That's what happened. That's what happened. Why did Elizabeth Warren stay and everybody else dropped out? That's why. And so here we go. This is a great cartoon that says Democrats choosing Biden. They've put the knife right through themselves and they miss Trump. So this is really what happened. Bernie's not going to tell you that. His campaign's not going to tell you that or whatever. And nope, the Democrats aren't going to tell you that. Rachel Maddow's not going to tell you that. Chris Hayes certainly isn't going to tell you that, who's now repeating lies about Syria and the gas attacks again. Chris Hayes, straight up propagandist, no matter what you think. They're not going to tell you this. The guy who's the biggest liar in D.C., they say, is though. Isn't that weird? Two truly strange times. As Nancy Pelosi is trying to stop Medicare, he's pushing for it. It's truly strange times. And what this guy, David Wohl, says, which is kind of interesting, he says, the Democrats are now left with a candidate who often forgets the state he's in, the name of the president he served under, who his wife is and who his sister is, and even the name of the virus causing the pandemic. What a disaster for them. Do you know who that guy is? That guy's an advisor for Donald Trump. Or he's a, I don't know if he's an advisor, he's connected with him. But anyway, the point I'm showing you this is they're not going to pull punches on Joe Biden. Do you think that Donald Trump isn't going to tell you that Joe Biden is demented and everybody in his campaign is going to tell you this? Because they are. Is MSNBC going to be able to protect Joe Biden going forward? No. Joe Biden is going to lose to Trump. Why? Because Trump is once again out-lefting the Democrats, just like he out-lefted Hillary Clinton. He's out-lefting Joe Biden. He has now taken the first step towards Medicare for all. Trump has. Were the Democrats screaming for Medicare for all payments? No! Which makes it so much easier for Trump to out-left them. And I just want to show you, here's Joe Biden, and if you don't think he has dementia, here he is, somebody put this together from 2018 to now. Just in 2 years, watch what happened. Just in 2 years, watch what happened.
We don't always live up to it. We've never given up on them. Sounds corny, but we hold these truths self-evident. That all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator. We've never met it all, but we've never walked away from it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
That's just in 2 years. So I've told you what happened. I'll just briefly tell you what happened again. And here I'll go with Kyle Kalinske. Kyle Kalinske says, one of the most pervasive establishment myths about Bernie is that he doesn't play ball. Are you kidding? He didn't lay a glove on the media. He always said Biden is his friend, and that he can beat Trump, and he campaigns for Dems after they cheat him. I wish Bernie gave zero fucks and took no prisoners.
And that right there, even with the crude language, is exactly why the Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Democrat Party and whatnot is so fractured and just destroyed. First off, just like in 2016, the DNC, Joe Biden, all of them completely screwed Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders won't fight back. Back in 2016, he got on the damn stage. After like a year of campaigning against the establishment, he gets on the stage at the DNC convention and says, vote for the establishment. And it's happening again. And here Kyle Kalinske, he's one of the Young Turks type. He works with the Justice Democrats, a group that got all of the squad into Congress. And he calls it right there. Anybody who's watching this, if you've voted or supported Bernie Sanders, Kyle Kalinske is spot on. Bernie Sanders did not put up a fight. He did not call out the media bias. He did not call out all the tricks they were playing during the different primaries and caucuses. And worst of all, in 2016, and much like right now, by doing that live stream with Joe Biden, he is endorsing the establishment that he has spent his entire campaign this year and last year rallying against. Bernie Sanders absolutely plays ball with the establishment, and I'm sorry if you don't like to hear it. I've had Bernie Sanders friends of mine say, well, what do you expect him to do? Here's an idea. Call them out for their bullshit. But he doesn't. He gets on board. He says, after a year of saying, don't go with the establishment, he says, go with the establishment. What do you want? What do you do? It sucks. It hurts, I know. But you got to wake up to this. That's all I got for you guys right now. I'll catch you later. My name is Ryan Derks. I'm running for Missouri's 5th Congressional District, and I approve this message.